Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a bit of a Instagram Q&A. I post these every few weeks answering your questions. So if you want to get a question answered, make sure you follow me on Instagram, the HA Podcast. And let's just dive right in. Question number 1. Is it possible to recover from HA with a minimum weight gain? So just until 21% body fat. So this person has about 21% BMI and they want to recover their cycle, or it sounds like they're interested in if it's possible to recover your cycle in as low body weight as possible. So my answer to that is that yes, it's possible. There's definitely people that have done it, but a lot of the time they're not doing it fully intentionally. It's that's their genetics, their makeup, and how they were able to recover. So it's possible, but it's not likely. It's not likely that you will have no weight gain. And then of course the term minimum weight gain is subjective, but your body will gain weight if that's what it needs to do. You don't really get to supplement your way out of this. Sorry. So we have people, it's been 5 weeks, which is 3 weeks overtime of how long a bathroom renovation is meant to be taking. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry. There's no magical thing you can do to get your period back without gaining weight. If you need to gain weight, your body will gain weight. Will the weight gain eventually distribute? I feel like a balloon since starting to eat more to recover. Weight gain distributing around could also be a little bit subjective, right? Where do you want it to distribute? Do you specifically want it to distribute in some way that only goes to your butt and your boobs? Or what does that mean to you? But you will likely gain weight rapidly in one area. So for me, it was my hips. It's going to change up. So when you first gain weight, part of the reason you might be most uncomfortable is because it's gone to one place first. But with time, if you need to gain more weight, you'll gain more weight in other areas, and you just will get used to it and get over it. Can you do light body weight exercises while working on recovery? Yes. So yes, you can, from the perspective of keeping your body functioning healthily and performing well. If you're trying to do this from a place of mitigating weight gain, you're not going to have a good time. But if you are just trying to move your body to keep your joints moving and lubricated, that's a completely different thing. And yeah, it's totally possible. It's just a slippery slope, right? Where are you going to draw the line, and how are you going to make sure that you're doing it from that place? So if you want to get up in the morning and do a couple of air squats and a few push-ups or some stretches or some yoga to keep things moving, that's not going to hurt you at all. If you're trying to do it from a place of getting a workout in so that you don't gain as much weight or something like that, you're actually probably going to have a less successful time. Which and how much exercise is okay for recovery? Is it okay to exercise with a low BMI of less than 16? So that is a pretty damn low BMI. If you want to get your period back, you need to gain more weight. So probably shouldn't be exercising. This particular person, and I already spoke to her on Instagram about this, but it's probably helpful for someone watching right now. This person has been in the HA recovery space for a while. Ever since I came in creating the podcast and the YouTube and everything, she has been trying to get her cycle back. We're approaching almost a year of that. So it's likely that she's been trying to do this for significantly longer than a year's time. So my answer to her was that, I've seen her around the community since I first entered. which tells me she's still not recovered, which is a sign that you probably need to take that next step. So if you've been trying to recover for a significant amount of time, your BMI is sub 16, and you're still trying to figure out if you're exercising too much and if you need to reduce it, the answer is yes. So just for anyone who has been trying to recover for a significant amount of time, hasn't taken all the steps they need to take, and is just like looking for more ways that they could tweak what works for them, I think that, you have the evidence you need now that you need to take significant more steps to reduce exercise and gain weight. Sorry. Love you though. I'm on cycle day 9 after my first recovery period. When do you expect my second ovulation? I want to conceive. So, fun question. So they usually say that ovulation happens around day 14 of the cycle. But for my HAs and my clients, all the girls in the HA Society see it all the time, often happens into the cycle day 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. So you're pretty early in on your next cycle. If you haven't changed anything, if you are continuing to follow the protocol and nothing has freaked you out, made you run in the other way and make slight changes, thinking, oh my God, I got a cycle, I can probably lose weight again, or I could probably stop eating this much food, you're actually probably going to see a longer wait for your second ovulation. This is just what I see anecdotally. When we let those behaviors slip in, we don't get our next cycle at the optimal time frame, which would be around 14 days, give or take a few. Yeah, my earliest ovulation was cycle day 6. Not ideal, but it happens. So that's the other thing to keep an eye out for. If you want to conceive, you're on cycle day 9, if you see cervical mucus, you start having sex. If you're not tracking cervical mucus and you're just not doing that, well, just know that before you ovulate, the whole thing has the potential to be your fertile window. So, consider yourself fertile if you're trying to conceive and be having sex. If you're not trying to conceive, consider yourself fertile and don't have sex. But that's one of the important values of tracking your cycle, is being better able to identify your fertile window, even in the whole beginning half of your cycle. So I don't know when you could possibly expect your second cycle. If you're doing everything right and you haven't changed anything, it should be, within the next 10 days or so. But, only you really know. Have you changed much? Okay. Do you like pineapple on pizza? I actually do. I like cutting through the salt and the fat with a bit of sweetness and acidity. I don't order it all the time, but I do like it. I haven't had a natural period in 5 years, but based on blood tests, my hormone levels are normal. Could I be seeing ovulation soon? So you could, absolutely. Hormone levels are coming up normal. That's a hugely positive sign. Again, charting something that would help you at this stage know where you're actually at, if that looks imminent or not. I like to do that with women who have all the signs that they should be ovulating and haven't ovulated. I like to get them on a chart to see if their pre-ovulatory temperatures are looking where they should be. If we're seeing signs of follicular waves or rises of estrogen by seeing cervical mucus happening, temperatures spiking, that kind of thing. But yeah, just going off all you've asked me in this question about hormone levels being good to go, sure, yes. If your hormone levels are good to go, but mentally you're somewhere where you're still exercising a lot, or you're still really anxious about food, or you're still super self-conscious about your body, you might actually find not so much. You might find it might take a little longer. So making sure you're working on the mental aspect of recovery is still really important. God, I hope my hair hasn't been scratching this microphone the whole time. I am gaining weight on less than the minimums, but hungry all of the time. Help. So the minimums, probably she's talking about 2,500 calories is a typical minimum. So if you're gaining weight eating less than that and you're still hungry, This is actually a really easy question to answer. So first of all, it sounds like you need to get up to eating the minimums. Your body's still hungry. If you're hungry, then that means that you're hungry, and so you should eat more. And you're gaining weight because although you're not at the minimums yet, sounds like you might be eating more than you previously were. And if that's the case, then that's why you're gaining weight, but your body is still trying to eat more to make up the deficit, to make up the body weight that it wants to gain. Like, I think it was the first question asked, your body's going to gain weight if it needs to gain weight. And it sounds like that's the mission that it's on right now. So go with it. Don't fight it. Get up to the minimums. See if this helps. Is it common for first recovery periods to be super light? Yes, it is common. You'll want to be making sure you're seeing improvements as cycles come along, but if that's your first cycle, you still can celebrate. Woohoo, good work. But we want to be getting a more substantial bleed over time. So just make sure you're doing all the things that help you to get your cycle sorted out. How to deal with triggering thoughts when partner is on strict low-calorie weight loss. That's a really tough situation. Not ideal at all. Being in an environment where people are triggering you like that is going to be tough. So first of all, mad compassion to you for that. I really recommend that you tell them this is hard for me, and they will probably step up to the plate and do their best to avoid obsessing about how amazing their low-calorie diet is, talking about their weight loss. They can help mitigate a lot of their impact on you by changing their behavior, but they can only do that if you tell them. So you have to tell them. And then ideally they're not doing that right now, but I know that you can't necessarily ask for that. This is not an easy situation to be in if you're triggered by something like that. So I recommend just having a community around you that's not like that you can vent to, express to, and just being around examples of people that are not also on a low-calorie diet, so that you don't feel like the only person in the world not on a diet, because you're not. So are the thousands of other people listening to the podcast, or like the 10 people watching on YouTube. Okay, let's do one more question. How do you work out today, a normal week? Any goals? Okay, so what does a normal week of working out look like to me for today? So I'm 6 months pregnant. I don't have any real goals except for getting through labor, to be honest with you. But, prior to recovery, I was working out and I didn't have specific goals. The goal for me was to not overdo it. So in my past of working out, I would train like 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, and then walk a whole bunch in between. It was pretty disordered in a way. And my idea of coming back to exercise was every second day, like a 10-minute workout or something like that, or just doing a 30-minute walk. Or, I could do a longer walk, but it counted as a workout. So that's what it looks like for me today. I'm really grateful for it, because that transition to not spending my whole day working out is what's allowed me to come and create the HA podcast and to make videos and to start the HA Society and all of that good stuff. So I have a lot more time. And so I am able to approach exercise differently, spending less time in the gym with the goal of just being healthy and moving it, because I do believe that that's really important for us. I get to be grateful the whole time that I then get to go and do my life's true calling. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. If you want to get a question answered, please comment, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, whatever you want to do. I save all of the questions that people ask me to answer for a later date. Bye.